Ladies and gentlemen, the time is 2 o'clock and we are ready to start our next Ready to Work Employer Showcase Series with Yates Services, LLC. Many of you also know them as liaisons to Nissan. And we are really thrilled today to have Kelly Russ with us. Kelly is going to be giving you all a lot of detail about the job openings that are available to you and what it's like to work inside of Nissan. Before I turn it over to Kelly, I'm going to give you all a couple of housekeeping notes. We do have everyone in attendance today on mute. However, the chat box is open and I'll be monitoring that throughout our time together. So if you have a question or need to know something specific, please feel free to place it in the chat box and I will be monitoring that and asking those questions to Kelly after she finishes her presentation so that she can answer them for you all today in real time. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Kelly to introduce her video.
All right, I appreciate everyone joining me today. My name is Kelly Russ. I am the Project Recruitment Manager for Yates Services, and yes, we are a liaison for Nissan. I appreciate your interest in being employed with us. Just to kind of give you a little bit of information about Yates Services as a whole, I know because we do have somewhat of a generic name, some individuals do think that we are a staffing agency, but I admit we are not. We are named after our owner, and it just happens that it came out generically. We are Nissan's largest subcontractor, and we are luckily the only contractor based at Nissan that does offer a direct hire pathway to Nissan employment. So we do have that feather in our hat, so to speak. Now, I have a video that I would like Regina to play for you that's going to show you some of the ins and outs of the plan. I know many of you have probably driven by it, always may have wanted to see what the interior looks like. This video will give you a little glimpse of what our environment can offer. So if she can push play and show that, and I'll return to you after the video is complete.
Awesome, thank you so much, Kelly. I am going to turn the video over to you now.
Hello, and welcome to Nissan. I'm Jeff Youngner, Vice President of Manufacturing at the Smyrna Vehicle Assembly Plant, and I'm really glad you chose to join our U.S. manufacturing team. We have a rich heritage, strong brands. We're counting on you to continue a manufacturing tradition built on safety, quality, innovation, mutual respect, and cooperation. Our U.S. manufacturing operations play a vital role in the success of the Nissan and Infiniti brands. Nissan's assembly plant in Smyrna, Tennessee, launched its first vehicle in 1983 and was the company's first production facility in the United States. Our second facility came online in 1997 when the Decherd, Tennessee Powertrain plant opened. Nissan's third manufacturing plant was built in Canton, Mississippi, with production beginning in 2003. As you get settled into your new role and become more familiar with Nissan, you will come to know the manufacturing side of our business very well. However, manufacturing represents just one part of our overall operations. Our team regularly interacts with other parts of the business, and the work of one group often depends on that of another. For example, before we were able to begin production of any new vehicles, we rely heavily on the engineering and design expertise provided by our team at NTC&A in Michigan. Our manufacturing facilities also depend heavily on the supply chain and sales units of our business to tell us how many cars, trucks, and SUVs we will need to produce during a given period. Once we build the vehicles, we rely on our dealer network and sales and marketing teams to drive sales. These same groups depend on manufacturing to deliver high-quality vehicles. Nissan's financing arm also plays another key role by providing loans to consumers so they can purchase or lease the exciting and innovative cars and trucks we build. This gives you a big picture look at our U.S. operations and how we work together. A map of our major U.S. operations offers some additional perspective. Smyrna Manufacturing, Decherd Powertrain Plant, Canton Manufacturing, Nissan North America Headquarters, Nissan Technical Center, Nissan Motor Acceptance Corporation, Nissan Technical Center Proving Grounds, Nissan Design Americas, Nissan Research Center, Silicon Valley. Now you have a chance to watch a short orientation video that will help you get more acclimated to Nissan. Again, welcome. From a personal experience, I can tell you the work is both challenging and rewarding. I want you to find success at Nissan and be proud of the work that you do. We're counting on you.
Nissan is known worldwide for quality and craftsmanship and for its positive approach to interacting with employees. At Nissan, we realize the primary reason behind our success is the people who make up our team. People who work well together. People who take pride in their work. People like you. Today, our manufacturing team consists of Nissan employees working alongside the employees of contractors we partner with to deliver innovative products. We are all part of the same team, and the contributions and opinions of every employee are important. Nissan is committed to providing the type of work environment that allows every team member to succeed, keeping you motivated, informed about our business, and involved in improving our work processes all contribute to our success. And none of these things can happen without open, two-way communication. We want you to participate in the decision-making process of this company because we're confident Nissan will benefit from your ideas and suggestions, whether it is through one-on-one meetings with your supervisor, management lunches and focus groups, or conversations with your human resources representative. All team members are encouraged to present their ideas or concerns to Nissan management. Trust and respect are also essential to teamwork at Nissan. Each must be given and should be expected in return. For our part, we trust you to have pride in your work, and we respect your ability to build world-class products. In return, we ask you to trust that Nissan is genuinely concerned about the welfare of each and every member of its workforce. This means you will be offered wages and benefits that are very competitive across the automotive industry and within the geographic regions where our manufacturing facilities are located. It also means that we don't cut corners when it comes to ensuring your safety on the job. Nissan, we have one of the best safety programs in the U.S. automotive industry. Our dedicated team of safety engineers works hand in hand with production supervisors and team members like you every day to continuously improve how we go about building vehicles, not just from a quality perspective, but from a safety perspective. We invest in new equipment to improve safety and ergonomics, which in turn improves quality and productivity. We train team members on better ways to work in order to reduce stress, injuries, and fatigue. And we maintain a comprehensive personal protective equipment program, giving you access to free hearing protection, eye protection, and other job-related protective clothing. Nissan is a company you can trust because we strive to live our values every day. It's what has helped make us successful. We are committed to maintaining job security through smart, sustainable growth that creates more long-term opportunities for current and future workers.
I hope this overview of our manufacturing operations has been informative and useful. You will be challenged to learn many new skills and processes in the months ahead, but I'm confident you'll have what it takes to succeed here at Smyrna. There's never been a more exciting time to be part of our U.S. production team. Welcome to Nissan.
All right, Kelly, I'm turning it back over to you. Thank you so much for sharing that video with us.
Not a problem. I figured that would show more insight than anything I could ever verbally say. But I now want to kind of show you are you seeing that okay?
I am not.
Okay, bear with me.
No, you're all right.
Bear with me, folks. You can tell I'm not the most Perfect.
Here we go.
Zoom user. Now we got it?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, good deal. This is going to be a presentation I'm just going to quickly show you that will highlight the specific jobs and the processes that you will need to go through to apply with Yates specifically if one of the jobs you saw in the video is of interest to you, obviously, okay? You'll notice this statement here, work at North America's largest vehicle assembly plant. That is actually a true statement. We are fortunate to truly have the largest vehicle assembly plant in North America among all automotive manufacturers. So that is a true and meaningful statement. I'm so glad we can say that. Just to give you an idea of the vehicles that are manufactured at the plant, this is them. You'll see that we do both sedans and SUVs as we do run 2 manufacturing lines. And you'll notice there's an Infiniti SUV that is manufactured there as well, okay? Now, as far as the positions we have available, we have everything from individuals who are working on the production line proper, those who are actually installing pieces and parts using tools and assistive equipment while those vehicles are moving on a production line, all the way from what we call part sorters or pickers, which is our warehouse or entry-level positions. Obviously, we also have forklift and mobile equipment operator positions available also. And then we have skilled labor thrown in there. Obviously, we are a huge facility, so it takes maintenance, electrical techs, HVAC, conveyor techs. Those are all the types of jobs that are thrown in that skilled labor category. And you'll notice that for those individuals, pay varies depending upon your experience. Now, that may not be a job category that may be of interest to you now based on your current education, but it may be something that you'll want to kind of plant a seed for the future. And as you gain additional skills and your education grows over time, maybe those are job types that may be of interest to you in the future, because these are obviously those that come with a higher pay wages. Obviously, they're more skilled. Now, as far as our warehouse positions, those are based at a multitude of places, and I'll hit on locations here in just a moment. But you can see the 14 to 15.25. 14.50 day shift wage. 15.25 is any off shift wage, any shift other than first. That would be their corresponding wage for those off shift positions. Mainline, this 17.04. That is a starting pay only in an off-shift capacity. In those positions, you will have an increase approximately every 6 months, working toward a top-out rate of just shy of a $21 an hour pay rate if you stay with us over a number of years, obviously, okay? These are the shifts that we typically have available. I've got them identified as first, second, and third. These are our 3 main production shifts. These are the shifts production runs on regularly. So we do have shifts other than these, as you can see here on the bottom. I have based on shift, job type, and location. Other shifts are available other than these 3, but these are the 3 main ones that the bulk of our positions will fall into, okay? Now, you will notice there's several lines beneath each shift. All 3 or all 2 lines are what comprise that given shift. So it's not one or the other. It's this is the schedule for first, second, and third corresponding, okay? Next is our locations that we as Yates place, okay? Obviously, we have the main vehicle assembly plant. We also have what is known as the NPRC, or the Nissan Parts Redistribution Center, which if you've ever traveled out 840 towards Wilson County, you'll see that huge warehouse that sits out on the right headed towards that area. We place individuals there as well. Plus the new Smyrna Return Center, which is referred to as the NSRC. It occupies the old Singer Sewing Machine building that is on Lowry Street or Murfreesboro Road, right outside of town if you're heading towards Smyrna from the Murfreesboro area. So all of these locations we have Yates techs at. And in addition to these 3, there is one that is not listed. And that is the electric vehicle battery plant. We place individuals there as well. And the reason it is not listed here is Nissan recently sold primary ownership of that plant to a third party. So we as Yates still place individuals there, but that facility is no longer owned by Nissan. They still have a minority interest, but not majority interest. But it is located on the campus of the Nissan plant as well. It just sits behind the plant and is off the road far enough that it cannot be seen from Murfreesboro Road, but it is there in a large facility as well. Now, as far as the benefits that we offer to our employees, you can see there's quite a few here. All of our positions are considered to be full-time permanent. The only thing that would make them something other than is an individual's performance or attendance from the time they enter the facility. We have very competitive wages, and we do pay weekly, which is a good benefit. For those who have not experienced that before, you will find that you will love it. It is very nice, and we do require electronic deposit. So all of your checks are electronically deposited on a weekly basis every Friday. Okay. Now you'll notice here we have a very competitive healthcare package that can be available to you the first of the month after you have met 60 days of employment with us, and you'll kind of see the laundry list of things there that can be available to you, and you pick and choose those things that you want that work for your family's needs. As far as paid vacation, you have 2 weeks available to you annually. And it is typically required that you use those during our annual summer shutdown period, which typically falls last week of June, first week of July. This year, obviously, COVID kind of threw us a little curveball and it was delayed this year, but this year I think is going to be an exception, and we'll probably get back to that last week of June, first week of July schedule in the years to come. As far as 401k participation, that is available to you as well after 1 year of service. And I don't know how familiar you may be with our activity center, but the activity center is located on the campus of Nissan, and it is the equivalent to having a YMCA on site that you will have free access to after 60 days of employment with us as well. It literally has everything a Y does almost. It's got a swimming pool, golf driving range, baseball fields, walking trail, basketball courts, handball courts, weights, fitness facility. I mean, it is everything you can imagine. So having free access to that is definitely a perk. You'll notice there is a progressive wage increase every 6 months until a top out is reached for mainline production positions. I kind of hit on that a moment ago. That will apply to those individuals who are working on the production line proper. Okay, and then you'll notice at the very bottom the potential career pathway to Nissan direct hire employment once 18 months of service has been achieved. And again, that applies for mainline production associates only. And as I mentioned earlier, we're the only contractor that's affiliated with Nissan that can have that as a feather in our hat. So that is a perk for Yates employees. Now, to apply and to qualify for a position with Yates, these criteria must be met first. Obviously, 18 years of age, must have 2 valid unexpired forms of ID, one being a photo ID, and that's obviously to comply with federal I-9 standards. You must be able to present a valid driver's license if you are going to be occupying any type of position that has driving privileges associated with it. So obviously that's your forklift drivers, mobile equipment operators, etc. We do conduct hair follicle drug screens. So you must be able to successfully pass a chemical screen of that type, and it is a zero tolerance screen. We do full criminal background checks. You must be flexible to work any shift, obviously wear the required CDC approved face mask. And we want individuals to work with us, to be motivated and be on a path to success. Obviously, we are one of the few employers in this area that are as large as we are, and therefore we are fortunate to offer opportunities and growth that many other employers in the area can't, just because they don't have the scope and size that we do. Many of the individuals in our environment who have gone on to upper opportunities have gone on to the headquarters in Franklin. So there are many levels of advancement opportunities in our environment available to those who come in and sell themselves and apply their best from day one. Last but not least, here's how to apply. We have yatesservices.com. This is our main intake website, and I'll show you that here in a moment so you can see how job postings appear on that site. We obviously have a presence on Indeed and Career Builder as well, and you can get to us also through localnissanjobs.com. And we keep a permanent presence at the American Job Center in Murfreesboro. You can see some of it in the background behind me, but I really want to give them kind of a horn toot as well, because this is their site, jobsfortn.gov. We keep a permanent presence on their site as well, and they are another great source for job searching other than just us. So for those of you who are looking for other opportunities as well, I definitely want you to check them out as well if you can. And then the 615-439-1017 phone number, that calls us direct here at the recruiting center at the American Job Center in Murfreesboro. And my contact information and who I am, so to speak, appears down here at the bottom. I can be reached at this same 439-1017 phone number as well. And obviously I've included my email at the bottom if anyone would like to email me direct. But that's kind of it in a nutshell, if you will. I hope I've kind of covered the gamut of many of the questions that you may have, but I quickly want to show you another screen as well. Can you see that now? Okay, gotcha. I just want to make sure that what I'm seeing is what you're seeing. But this is what will pop up when you jump on the yatesservices.com website. These are how our job listings will appear, and to scroll through them all, you'll just go through these little circles along the bottom. Obviously, it gives you the job type, and directly beneath it'll give you the locations where those job types are available. Now, you'll notice Canton, Mississippi and Decherd, Tennessee are listed as well. If you are interested in Decherd, Tennessee locations, you will need to go through the Tullahoma Career Center for those opportunities. And obviously anything for the Mississippi site, you would have to go through them direct to Mississippi. We typically only handle Smyrna, Mount Juliet, Murfreesboro from our particular location here. But if you see anything that's of interest to you, just hit apply at the bottom. Sure, hit apply at the bottom. A job description will pop up giving you all the parameters of what that job entails, the associated benefits, etc. And then if it's of interest to you, you just submit the application at the bottom, hit submit. It will then be received in our office via email, and you will receive an email response from us within 24 to 48 hours that will spark the process to get you scheduled for an interview for said position. So that's kind of how you get to us and what we have to offer. So I am certainly open at this point to any questions you may have that I can assist with.
Thank you so much, Kelly. That was great. I do have a couple of questions for you. So the first question being, earlier on you talked about your skilled labor needs. And there's certainly an opportunity for people to come in at a certain level and then moving to those skilled positions. If I wanted to apply for one of your like picker positions, do I need to have experience there? And once I get in at that level, how might I learn a little bit about how to become educated for a skilled labor position?
Gotcha. Okay. As far as our entry-level part sorter warehouse type positions, no previous experience is really required for those. Those are our most entry-level jobs. So those we will train you to the job. So any previous warehouse experience you have will certainly be preferred, but it's not required. So if you wish to come in that route, after you have been in that position for a minimum of 6 months, you can then have the opportunity to potentially advance to an upper level production mainline position if you wish. Now, you would then have to be in that position for a minimum of 2 years for tuition reimbursement to possibly become an opportunity. And at that point in time, if you wanted to go to an area tech school or something and maybe pursue mechatronics, HVAC, electrical, or whatever the case may be, at that point you could pursue our tuition reimbursement program, and we could assist you in offsetting some of your expenses to then get the needed training to then be eligible for some of those skilled labor positions in the future.
Awesome, thank you. Second question, time frame from the time that I hit submit on that website to actually working my first day at Nissan. What is that typical time frame for you all?
Obviously, it's been a little delayed lately. Thank you, COVID. It used to be very quick. Now, because of COVID, it's a little slower than normal. Now, where we used to have positions all the time, people are somewhat now holding on to their jobs a little longer due to the uncertainty of the current situation. And right now, our openings do change from week to week. So for some, depending on timing, it may be much sooner than others. I can't guarantee an answer to that because obviously we're dealing with some crazy uncertain times right now. But some positions are coming up now. We had 4 pop up last week that we weren't expecting that we're working on now, and others may take a little longer. So it just depends on the job type, the shift, the location you're looking for, and what may be available at any given time.
Awesome, thank you. Another question that we had is, you mentioned that your office is at the Career Center here in Murfreesboro. If I have questions about a job or what you're specifically hiring for, wanted some more detail, can I call and make an appointment with you? Do I just need to show up? How does that work?
Before COVID, we could take walk-ins, no problem. Now with COVID, the state is requiring we operate by appointment only. So you are welcome to give us a call, to shoot me an email, or if you want to schedule an appointment with us to come in and speak with you a little further, we can do that as well. We occupy our office here every weekday. This facility is open, typically Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. So we can easily accommodate an appointment during those times, provided it's scheduled in advance.
Awesome. I want to make a note that if anyone had a question, the chat box is still open. I see a couple coming in, but just to remind you all of that feature. So one of the questions in the chat box are, what are some of the biggest mistakes that people make when they are applying for a job with you all, Kelly?
Probably not selling themselves in such a way where they typically come across as wanting the job. I know that sounds odd, but we have a lot of people who will come in and literally melt across a chair like they're watching TV at home and expect to just walk away with a job because they're here and they can fog a mirror. Unfortunately, we are manufacturing. I realize you don't have to present in our office in a 3-piece suit by any stretch of the imagination, but individuals who come in with a good head on their shoulders, who are prepared for an interview, who know what to ask and know how to respond accurately, and come across as being very motivated and excited to learn more about the environment and the job, are those that we look at more strongly than others. But in all actuality, I don't feel like we look for anything different in an employee than any other employer would. We're all seeking the same things, good employees who perform well and are there every day. And those are the characteristics that we're looking for when we interview people and talk further with them.
Absolutely, that's so great. Another question that I have from the chat box is, does Yates also manage engineering positions?
Most of the engineering positions are Nissan employees direct. But obviously, oftentimes some of our skilled labor positions will lead to future Nissan engineering opportunities. Now, as far as engineering specific, I know that Nissan utilizes Kelly's services as kind of a temp to hire opportunity, if you will, for engineering prospects. And for someone who is currently in school pursuing engineering in some way, Nissan I think it's every 2 years, will also do a engineering internship where students pursuing engineering will have the opportunity to come in for a month or so and kind of mirror and job shadow existing engineers to kind of get experience and sort of begin seeing what daily life as an engineer in a workplace is really like. So that's a potential opportunity also. And again, the tuition reimbursement is still there also. Anyone who comes into our environment is in a qualifying position for 2 years or more and wants to pursue an education in a career field that is pertinent to our environment, those are the individuals who truly need to check out our tuition reimbursement program, because we will help offset those expenses for engineering, electrical, mechatronics, HVAC, conveyor maintenance. I mean, there's obviously a broad range there, but for someone who has a long-term career goal with Nissan/Yates and they want to enter it through the engineering pathway, so to speak, that's an excellent way to kind of get your foot in the door.
That's great. Kelly, I know you also mentioned specifically that you all send out an email after you've received someone's resume online. Would it be a good idea for someone to also follow up with you individually? So after they submit online, you've given us your contact information. Is it a good idea for someone to also follow up with you after that?
Feel free. Feel free. We always, as I mentioned earlier, have positions that pop up weekly, so our needs are constantly changing. So it definitely is in your best interest to keep in contact with us and keep us abreast of your interest and availability, so we can make sure that we have you at the top of our list as well as positions pop up.
Awesome. And the last question I have from the chat box is, do you have any advice for a recent high school graduate that might not have any real work experience prior to graduating from high school?
Gotcha. Sometimes those are the best employees. I say that because oftentimes if you've already worked in an employer, you may have picked up some, quote, bad habits that another employer has to unlearn from you, if you will. So when you have a fresh employee, you have the ability to mold that person to the best interest of the employer and the employee. So sometimes that's best case scenario, if you will. The only thing I would really probably recommend in that situation is, in our environment, that prior experience is not necessarily required in an entry level. So I'm not necessarily looking for an extensive employment history, but the way you present does matter immensely. You know, they always say you have one opportunity to make a first impression. That is so true, and that is so key in our environment, because when we're meeting someone for the first time, our environment is high demand, fast paced, go, go, go. Accuracy is key. So when we have someone sitting in front of us, those are the characteristics we're looking for in a person. Though you may not have previous experience, we're looking to see, what do you do with your personal time? Are you sitting on the couch watching TV all the time, or are you someone who's involved in volunteer activities? You're a sports nut, you have passions that you enjoy doing outside. I mean, those are all things that let us know you are a motivated person, even if you have no work experience otherwise. So a lot of it has to do with just be prepared for the interview and learn those things that employers are looking for, that exude the things that employers are seeking. The motivation, the interest in the job, the fact that you have goals. What are they? How do you plan to achieve them? Do you have a plan laid out? Those are the things you're going to hear from us and that we're looking to want good answers in response to.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelly, so much. I will just quickly give a plug to the American Job Center. I know that Kelly shares space with them here in Murfreesboro, but as she talks a little bit about those 21st century skills on knowing how to prepare for the interview and how to ask those questions and present well, you can gain a lot of those skills and that information from the AJC. So not only can you see and visit with Kelly there and learn about her jobs, you can also make an appointment with the American Job Center and also gain some of those skill sets. So we are right up against our time. Thank you again to Kelly. We appreciate you so much for taking time out and telling us a little bit more about the jobs that you all have available through Yates to Nissan. And I will just continue to plug. We have additional employer showcases specifically for manufacturing for the rest of the week. We will also be posting this link in our YouTube page, and it will also go out to each of you in a survey, an email form after this event today. So thank you so much, Kelly. Thank you to everybody that's joining on today, and you all have a good rest of your afternoon.
Thank you, and hope to see all of you soon.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
You too.